And I don't know whether why they messed up the heater. And in Anchorage, yes, it is true that people was moving around and said, they know how to control the heater like that by the remote, and they were earning the money. I think that is what I was just sensing it. In January, they were rotating the heater. They want me to lose some money so that they could get the house. Okay, so as far as I know, head of Angel member was continually rotating the heater like every 30 seconds. It was not stopping it all night, and they were doing it in January. And then not only that, they were shooting the electromagnetic frequency. It's not EMF, okay? It's the shooting from the sky, okay? So I was kind of heck of it, and then I left the USA, and then just like a hacker from the abroad was just saying that it's a Alaska play. It's Alaska play. They've been played by their own. And then people were saying that who has been experienced, and it's the police, and then maybe base camp, and then I think there is a certain people who plays it, not everybody, but there is a certain people they are playing it, and that has been allowed by the system and base camp or whatsoever. They messed up your brain just like I was getting a headache, and then they messed up your organ just like I couldn't digest. Okay, they have all kinds of that. What is it? They were using it. That has, because they were playing globally, now that has been shipped from the outside. And then they were creating all these kind of things. I think that is what is going on, I think. And because whoever was playing inside of the USA, now they are playing globally. That weapon was developing outside, so that they have more technology to suit all kind of things. That's why I think all these glass crack and everything is going on, and they've been already playing. So whatever they were playing inside of the it's too much what they are doing. So I don't know, because these kind of plumbing guy, and I know they move around and set it up and controlled by the remote, even from the abroad, maybe, that I don't know. But this system is already going on all over in Anchorage and Alaska. And once they set up, they control by the remote, and they could turn it off and on and continually rolling. And in the morning, once I put the temperature up, and it was trying to kick in, the heater was trying to kick in, and it was being blocked. And just like in January, the heater was continually rolling by the remote, and now it has been up. And everything, all like even gas stove ignition, they were playing very intensely. And I don't know, maybe Russian, American is kind of involved, because I do see his demon face that, where are we gonna go? If you do what you do, and this is not right. Okay, as being police, I think as being police and ex-soldier, I think they are playing way too rough in USA. But anyway, I know they use this kind of cyber IT, and then they were already playing, and it has been add up. Now it's been playing about 10 years, and what they are playing globally, getting all this IT technology to do the crime in society. And while because it is U.S. police line and army who create all this line to harm the citizen, and just like what I'm going through, and the system by itself is not working. And they tell many bad in China or other country, but unless they're not in USA, due to the racism and difference between you and I have, they never take care. China government is not hurting their own China government people. If they do, they would not respect. Okay, and if so does, so did like South Korea. If a South Korea government hurt their own citizen, and they would not respect. But in USA, they are the one who was doing, playing around, and then the system got permitted it and to play. Just like a cyber, China blocked it, and they didn't want those kind of corruption in the China government system. And then South Korea, whatever Mr. Chang was playing, all these like technology, see through the war and hacking and those kind, they are still hacked, but at least they are taking care. They are being busted it. And like I said, South Korea, they busted it within 2 to 3 months. And I tell Anchorage Police Department more than a year now, I'm, doing the, protest because it was their side play, even shooting, messed up by the shooting. It was a police line in U.S. It was playing. They have a certain line that flows, and because they were playing, it never been taken care. Let them continue to play, and on their own side, it's not being taken care. And now they messed up my heater for me to spend the money. They were, to be honest, they were sucking my money in Anchorage. Who was, head of Angel. They have a variety, yes. They have a variety of way of doing the crime, and police officers today say that, yes, they were doing the crime. They were setting up all kinds of things. And inside, they were operating like over and over again now. And ruining my car, auto, it's just too much. Ruining my minivan and continually destroying my minivan. And now they've been, they destroy my heater. So I don't know. I know this house was cheap, okay? Because now because they are working with the police, and they want to go after the house, that's for sure, head of Angel. And then I was in the police department today, and then I told who's doing what. Okay, yes, the head of Angel, yes, they are working, these kind of things, okay? And then even shooting all this razor and messing up the organ and, things like that. I think that also not only being done by the government, but also their street people. And that technology has been passed on to South Korea since they were working very closely with the Chinese Korean, and now they were developing over there all this technology and what US has been used. So it wasn't South Korea, they were creating things. It was already being used. People were saying that it's been already used here, especially in Anchorage. So they were already using abundantly here and there, and and who was doing it is a police line who was doing it, and also the army base soldier. And as soon as I arrived, they used it, and then also I agree. So people already doing things in here, and people was experiencing it. And soon as I arrived here, and I was going through what I was going through.